Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 2 on Mission Impossible, and today we're going to be learning how to do the following things. So what we're learning today, there's 2 learning intentions in today's lesson. The first one is I am learning to sequence a story, and the second one is I'm learning how to write a character description. So there's 2 different things we're going to learn in this lesson. So today we're going to be starting with the learning intention, I'm learning to sequence a story. And let's find what that's going to be about. To be successful in this part of the lesson, this is what we're going to have to be able to do. So in order to sequence a story, we're going to have to, locate information in the story, and then we're going to have to organise the events in order from beginning to end. What we firstly have to think about is, what is sequencing? And have you heard this word before? This might be something you've done before in a reading lesson, or you might have done it as something that you've been doing at home. But to sequence something means to organise something in a particular order. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be organising information from the story of Mission Impossible, and we're going to put it in the order from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. In Teams, you will find a copy of this worksheet, and it's to help you with your task. You don't have to write in the sheet, and you can have a look at it, but what I would like you to do is to order the events. So here is a copy of the worksheet. What I'm going to show you now is the easiest way to sequence a story from beginning to end, and the first thing you have to do is locate the information in the text. So let's have a look. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to locate information in a text. So what we're doing today is we're learning how to sequence a story, but before we do that we need to first of all find where this information is within the text before we can order it from beginning to end, before we can sequence it. Now I've been able to print the story, but don't worry if you haven't been able to do that. I'm going to show you how you can also do it just using a piece of paper or a whiteboard or something else that you've got, as long as you can open up the documents on a device. So first things first, let's have a look at our story mountain. The first piece of information that we're looking for is that the twins venture out into night and find the riverboat with the mirror. So from reading this text before, I know that the twins venture out into the middle of the story. I know it doesn't come at the beginning of the story because that's telling you just a wee bit about them. So I'm going to scan the text for the words night and riverboat. And the mirror part of it, because it says they find a riverboat with a mirror. So I'm looking down here. It talks about the riverboat here, but that's just part of their mission, so it's not there. I keep going down. So they've found the riverboat here. Oops. This doesn't want to open. So they found the abandoned riverboat, but they don't actually find the mirror until this bit here. So they find the Emperor's mirror here. Okay? So that's the first bit of information. So I can say that for the first piece of information, just to remind me, if I've not got a thing in front of me, it's on the 3rd page and it's in the 2nd paragraph. And then I'm going to do this for the next piece of information. Pete and Polly are given a mission to rescue the Yatta no Kagami. So then I'm looking here for the first bit where they're given the mission. Now again, I know that doesn't come in the first page because I've read the text before. I know in this bit here it talks about their mission, and I look here, it says your mission to retrieve the Yatta no Kagami. Now again, I'm going to highlight that because that's the second piece of information. Okay, so again, in this bit here, I would say that the second bit of information comes on the 2nd page. And we'll use that as the 2nd paragraph. And then I would continue to do that with these last 3 pieces of information. I find them in the text. I would highlight them if I can print them. If not, I would write where I find them, and then that allows me then to sequence them on what one comes first. So if there's something highlighted in this page, that would come before this one, come before that one. Okay, good luck. So what I would like you to do now is to pause the video, and you can complete the sequencing task before moving on to this task, which is character description. So we're learning to write character descriptions. To be successful, what we need to be able to do is I can include information on appearance, write about their personality, and also include details about someone's family. What I would like you to think about now is, who is your favourite character? This character might be from a film or from a book. What I would like you to do now is to pause the video and answer the 3 questions that are on screen at the moment. I'm going to share with you who was my favourite character when I was a child. I loved the story of the Twits, but I loved that Mr. Twit, his character description was like a gruesome and mean man, and I'm going to read you a little extract from the book. Mr. Twit was one of these very hairy-faced men. The whole of his face, except from his forehead, his eyes and his nose, were covered with thick hair. The stuff even sprouted in revolting tufts out of his nostrils and ear holes. Mr. Twit felt that this hairiness made him look terrifically wise and grand, but in truth he was neither of these things. Mr. Twit was a twit. He was born a twit, and now at the age of 60 he was a bigger twit than ever. The hair on Mr. Twit's face didn't grow smooth and matted as it does in most hairy-faced men. It grew in spikes that stuck out straight like the bristles of a nail brush. How often did Mr. Twit wash this bristly nail-brushy face of his? The answer is never. Not even on Saturdays. He hadn't washed it for years. I really liked this character description because not only was it really detailed and it gave you a good idea of what Mr. Twit looked like, it also actually gave you quite a good idea about his personality and that he wasn't a very nice person. Let's have a look at our task for today. Today we are going to be writing a character description for Polly Powers. Now in this story it tells you a little bit about her, so what we're going to do is we're going to decide where you're going to use our imaginations to create the rest of the character of Polly Powers. To be successful in this task, we're going to have to include information on her appearance, her personality, and her family. So in the character description task, and in Teams you'll find a copy of this document, you're now going to create a character description for Polly Powers. We don't know all of this information, so we're going to create it. So our name's already on the sheet, so we don't need to write that, and we're going to decide what age she is. I've decided that she's going to be a child of the age of 12. So the next thing, where they live, I've decided that she's going to live in a small town on the outskirts of Edinburgh. Now it says siblings, brothers and sisters. Well, I know that she has a twin brother, and I'm going to be that he's the only sibling. So I'm going to say a brother called Pete. And I'm going to put in brackets. He's also age 12, and he has to be 12 because he's our twin. So then we want to think about our appearance, what they look like. So I'm going to say that she is tall and slim, wears dark sunglasses. I also want to think about other ways that I could describe her, that she has short shoulder length brown hair. And there's a whole host of other things that I could describe about her appearance. You might want to choose the kind of clothes she's wearing, and then you would also then go on to do her personality. So when you come to do this task, you need to make sure you include information on her siblings, information on her appearance, and information on her personality. Good luck. To finish with, I would like you to check your Polly Powers character description against the success criteria. Have you included information on her appearance? Have you written about her personality? And have you included details about her family?